Hey gang, I'm going to take you through an upper body banded workout. So you can do it at home, you can do it on the road. The bands are easy to travel with. This workout does have the bigger bands and the smaller bands. So if you have one or the other, you can take those moves, or if you need to order some, you can get them on Amazon and get started. But this one is Tabata style, so I will share the workout image as well. But Tabata is 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 8 times through each move, and then you can do as many moves as you want. But today's workout, we're going to do 7 of them, so that works out to be just under 40 minutes. And then we have 2 1-minute burnouts. All right, so the first one, tricep kickbacks. With this one, you can go a little bit heavier. With these bands, we have the black is the heaviest and then the red, so depending on your strength and the challenge, you choose what works for you. But the kickbacks, we're going to do a hinge movement at our hips, so your belly button is pulled in to release that lower back. One hand is going to be in the center of your chest, and the other arm is going to be your working arm. So you're out to the side, you're thinking full extension, so that straight arm there. Notice my elbow stays up. I don't lower that elbow, I just hinge at it. I come to about 90 degrees here. I still have tension, so if I release, you can see there's still that tension on the band. So full, and then to 90 degrees. If you want to truly find that muscle, do a pulse at the back, and then release. My recommendation is 4 sets of 20 seconds on one side, 4 on the other if you're doing the Tabata. Otherwise, you can do 30 seconds, 40 seconds, whatever you're doing. But you're going to switch and then do that same. If you want to do it standing, we call it a tricep extension, same movement. Your hand is going to be into your heart, your elbow is into your side, and you're pressing down towards the ground. So that full extension, come to that 90 degrees. I still have tension on the band. You can see if I release it, wants to flip back up. But that full extension down, slow on that release again. You can do that pulsing at the bottom to truly activate the tricep in the back. So mini tricep kickbacks or extensions. Hammer curl, we've done this one quite a bit. You go a little bit heavier, you're working the bigger part or the strongest part of your bicep, but you're going to step on the band. If I can step all the way back here a little bit further away, you can see elbows are into your side. I like to start with palms down and then turn my thumbs up so that the palms end up facing each other. I'll come a little bit closer so you can see them move here, but I'm coming up to about 2/3 of the way, and then slow and controlled on that release down. With any of the bands, you want to release slow. Don't let the bands choose your pace, you get to. So see how far I'm coming up? I'm not here, otherwise I'm releasing those elbows. So coming about 2/3 of the way, slow and controlled on the way down. If you want to pulse at the top, that's going to truly activate that bicep, and then release on that way back down. So that's your hammer curl, palms facing in, up and down. Upright rows, it's going to be a little bit lighter. You're working your shoulders on this one. If I step back, you're going to see I'm still with my feet standing on the band. I'm going to come a little bit closer and I'll show you different angles. If I stick my thumbs out, they're touching. They don't necessarily need to be while I'm doing the movement, but it's a shoulder exercise leading with the elbows. And then when you get to the top, kind of swinging back or squeezing those shoulder blades together. So from the side, I'm leading with the elbows, and then I'm pulling it back to get the upper part of my back or my rear delts, the back part of my shoulders, so up and back. With any of these banded moves, you can always crisscross. That's going to add a little bit more tension, or grab a little bit lower. It gets tricky on the tricep or on the upright rows. You still want to keep your hands close together even though there is that little loop through it, all right? So you can power on the way up, but slow and controlled on that release down. So that's going to be your upright rows. The Y extension, or I like to call it the cheerleader, you're working your shoulder, but then in that full extension is where you're going to work that tricep as well. It'll be a little bit lighter, but your anchor point is going to be right into your chest, thinking rah, rah, up to that top corner. You can see up to the top corner of the screen. Now, what we don't want to do is let that wrist bend back, right? So we don't want it to bend in the wrong direction. You want to try to keep it as straight as you can, especially on that full extension. If this bothers your shoulder, you're not quite feeling it in your tricep, you can go down to what we call an A. So you're still out to the side. It's not that true tricep extension here. You're kind of out to that diagonal or the bottom corner of the screen or the room, all right? So we've got our A or our Y, and you can even alternate from there. So whatever you do on one side, make sure you're doing on the other. Adjust the band so that that wrist can stay nice and straight. Notice it's not flipped back, it's not curved under, it's nice and straight along the line of that band, all right? Up and out. Concentration curls, this one's gonna be a little bit further away, I apologize. But you're gonna want a thicker band, still the small mini one. You're gonna come down to the ground, loop it around the arch of your foot. Your elbow goes on the inside of your knee. We don't want it on the top. You want to be hunched forward a little bit. Palms facing out. You're curling up towards your chest. Slow and controlled on that way down. So your front view would be from here, curling up. Notice my elbows on the inside. And you can pulse at the top. That's going to truly activate the bicep. Slow and controlled on that way down, making sure you're even Steven on the other side. I will show you another curl. It brings in your shoulders as well. So your anchor point is a high curl. Your anchor point is going to be out in front, and then you're curling in with this one. So this is a true bicep curl, a supine grip, where you're working how you would work if you were curling with your palms up here. So anchor point, curl, so it's a little boomerang-ish. Boomerang. You're here, release out, and back in. So those are two different ways you could use the band for a curl. Then we've got 90-degree shoulder raise. This one's going to be a little bit lighter, working the shoulders again. The 90 degrees is your arm, right? Staying in that 90 degree. Even as you come up, I'm leading more with my elbow, not as much with my wrist. Coming slow and controlled down. So this arm is the anchor arm. If you need to make it a little bit more challenging, you can add a twist in it this way. So notice I'm coming up to shoulder height and back down. With this one, you need to be very careful that you're not crunching up your shoulders up here, because that's going to hurt a lot tomorrow. So you're still relaxing even as you're working that shoulder. Again, from the side, leading with that elbow. And back down, making sure everything is always even. However many you do on one side, you want to do on the other. Side serve, this one's going to be a lighter one as well. We've done it with dumbbells when we did our wide curl and kind of scoop out. So you want to think that same movement, but a band, you're going to anchor here. It's going to be a little bit lighter of a band. So you're anchoring into your chest. Your palm is facing up as you kind of serve out and away. So it's shoulder and bicep on this one, so serving up and away and back down. If you need it to be a little bit easier, bring your hand over to the side. More challenging, it's going to be further away onto that other side. So up, serve, and away. If you want to pulse, you can pulse up here, but just make sure that those shoulders stay relaxed and down. Then the last two are tricep extensions, so you're up against the wall. You're going to have your hands turn so your elbows are in. Remember, you're bringing your palms to the wall, and then as you press away, you're pressing through that heel to push yourself back out. Just keeping your body in that full plank the entire time. And then we have banded shoulder press. There's two ways to do this. I'll show you the standing and the kneeling version, but you're going to take the band under your feet like we do for all the other moves, and you're going to do shoulder press, but the elbows are going to be out. Typically, we like to do it this way, so we hit the front part of our shoulders, but today the motion is going to be out here. So what that looks like with the band, again, make sure we're not taking those wrists back. You want to try to keep them as straight as you can. You're going up and over, slow and controlled back down, coming in front of your face, up and slow and controlled back down. Same movement, you could use a thicker band or a more resistance band if you're going to come down into the kneeling position. Loading it up here, up and over, down and apart, up and over, down and apart, making sure your core is strong on that one to protect your lower back. But those are some upper body banded moves for you to do at home, on the road. No excuses. Invite a friend. See you guys later.